start from where you are. Take baby steps. Start one of the things that we might have suggested. And if you're not holding hands, start holding hands. Okay. Husband, try to open a door once in a while for your wife. Try to serve each other. And eventually you can grow and develop your marriage and your intimacy and your relationship.
Hey, you're listening to the Blessed Couple Podcast, where we talk about how to do this marriage thing and experience God in the process. I hope you enjoy and subscribe. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Dave.
This is Mitsue.
We are in our 60s, and we'd like to talk with you today about sex in the 60s. But first of all, we need to talk about our marriage and what our marriage looks like now, because it looks a little bit different than it did when we were in our 20s. We're not quite as active as we were, but a lot of things they continue to be the same. We've learned a lot of things in 37 years. Some of the things that we've learned have really helped our marriage. They've helped our intimacy and even helped our sex life. I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it didn't just happen. It's accumulated the effort or accumulated the joy in the relationship brought us here.
Yeah, two parents, they came to help us to create deeper intimacy in our marriages so that we can have better families. And I think some of the things we've learned are that as far as intimacy, we think of it in the bedroom, but it really happens way before you get to the bedroom. It happens when you first get up in the morning. For Mitsue and I, we like to set our alarm clock about 5 minutes early each morning.
Every morning.
So that she can lay her head on my shoulder, and we look at it as our plugging in time to get charged for the day. So it really starts from there, and we try to be considerate of each other. I open the doors for Mitsue. Every door, right?
Every door.
Car doors, house doors, restaurant doors, wherever we go. And it does not detract from my life. If I added up all the time that I spent opening doors for Mitsue, I don't know, it would be a day out of my life. It might be a week out of my life. If it were a year out of my life, I think it would be worth it because she knows that I'm putting her first and I'm thinking about her during that time. And I look at her as my queen.
And you are my king.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just one thing. We hold hands, we cozy up with each other, and that helps us to get ready for bed. We don't just want to go to sleep. Well, sometimes we do. But when we do want to make love, then we try to go to bed early and together, right? We do find that we don't have quite as much energy as we had. When we were in our 20s, we could make love any time, anywhere, any place.
I'm not sure.
But now we need to be more intentional, I would say. We need to set aside time. We need to make sure that we have enough energy. And to take time, we don't have as much quickie sex as we used to, right?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think because when we were younger, we had children around. I was always pregnant or I was always breastfeeding. So I myself didn't have energy and I really didn't feel like taking time, right? So maybe the quick one is the way of satisfying husband, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's going to be, even though we're in our 60s, we don't have children around, but still things come up. Things always come up in marriage that are going to interfere with your sex life. When you're younger, it might be any time in your life. It could be sickness. It could be death in the family. It could be something came up with your children that really distraught you. And you just maybe in trauma or in mourning or you don't feel very good. And so you just have to give each other that space during that time. And so although these things can happen anytime in our marriage, when you're in your 60s, things happen that cause us not to feel so energetic. We might have a injured leg, something like that. And things are always coming up in marriage, but you just have to make sure that you take care of those things, you take care of each other, and that doesn't become an excuse for a long period of time. That you get over it and you get on with your marriage, you get on with your sex life too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, if you're getting something good from this episode, it would mean the world to us if you could share it with someone you love or leave a 5-star review, because the only way this podcast spreads around is through word of mouth. So a share or a review would go a long way, and it only takes like 10 seconds to do. Thanks. Back to the show.
So, yeah, we've got different issues now than we did when we were in our 20s and 30s. But I think the experience that we've got really helps us. So we don't, just like with anything, we don't have the youth and vigor of being young, but we do have the experience that we've learned. So that when we do have sex, that we really take care of each other and we intentionally try to serve each other. So sex has become something that has helped to develop our heart and our character and our love for each other. And I think because of that, our intimacy has grown. I know a lot of couples may be everybody is at a different place in their relationship. And so no matter where you are, I just like to encourage you to start from where you are. Take baby steps. Start one of the things that we might have suggested. And if you're not holding hands, start holding hands. Okay. Husband, try to open a door once in a while for your wife. Try to serve each other. And eventually you can grow and develop your marriage and your intimacy and your relationship. And the sex part, if you're not having sex very often, that can come later. So start working on your relationship now and then work on the sex part later. If sex is something that you don't have very often and you're fine with that, either the husband or the wife, it's important to ask your spouse how they are with that. Because maybe if you're having sex once a month and you think it's just great, but your spouse would like to have it more frequently, then that's not really a happy marriage either. So communicate. That's what we've learned also, that you need to communicate and talk. Don't be afraid to talk about sex, what you like, what you don't like in bed. That's all things that we've learned to talk about over the years. And we've gotten comfortable with it because we're comfortable in knowing that we care for each other. Right?
Yeah. I think the communication, that if something happened, then it's better to communicate and solve that day without waiting for 3 days or a month. I think if we are having a hard time communicating, probably it's because it's accumulation of bad feelings, became resentment, and just became very hard to talk to each other. So I think it's not too late. You can start talking. That's very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's never too late. And it's important to remember that the words "I'm sorry" they can be magical. They can heal wounds.
Yeah. I think "I'm sorry" can also be the conversation, why you are sorry, what you are thinking, all the things can come out from the word "I'm sorry."
Yeah. So anyway, we'd just like to encourage you to start from wherever you're at and never compare yourself or your spouse to anybody else. Never compare your marriage to anybody else. Just be happy with where you're at right now at this moment and try to grow from there. And although we are happy with where we're at, we're never complacent or satisfied with where we're at. We are always trying to improve. I never consider my marriage to be a 10. I would always say it was like a 9 or 9.5, just because I want there to be some room for improvement.
Also, because we are losing energy, we are not strong. So exercise would be a very good thing. And if you don't want to go to gym, then walk around, hand in hand, walk, brisk walk, or slow walk, whatever is comfortable for you. And fill that.
Yeah, and again, we're not all the same size or the same shape or the same appearance. Thank God we don't want to be all cookie cutter people. So no matter where you're at, you can make improvements. So that's all we have for you now. Thank you and good night.
Good luck.
Hey, if you want to improve your relationship or take your sex life to the next level, well, you're in luck, because more than 70% of couples that take our Love and Integrity course said that the quality of their sexual relationship improved after joining the course. Sounds good? You can join the program today with your spouse or just take the course by yourself at loveandintegrity.com. See you in the next episode.